Hello and welcome to another episode of Neptune Novelties. I hope that for the next few moments we get to take a trip to a world that's not ours, but it will be counted as ours for the next few moments. And today actually we're going to be discussing a summer read, I would say, and by that I mean these are books that I believe fit the vibe of the season, summer. Now, this does not mean if you're listening to this some other season, you cannot read these, but I think some books just have this specific energy that they fit a specific season or a specific day. And this episode will be one of those. This book we're going to be discussing today is called These Summer Storms by Sarah MacLean, published by Valentine Books, an imprint of Random House, a division of Penguin Random House. Now, this is actually a new book. It was published in 2025. And I actually only read, I think, 3% of the book, and I did not finish this book. And the reason for that isn't because it's a bad book, I think. First of all, I think the mood you're in really, if you are person who reads based on how you feel, then you will understand that. I think I could enjoy this book if I'm in the mood for it. Now, what is this book about? It is actually about Alice Storm, and the story is based in Rhode Island. Now, her father, her larger-than-life father, suddenly passes away. He suddenly dies. And you get to see her point of story from the second that she gets on the train heading down to pay her final respect. Apparently other stuff come up. This is basically a story about this family who are kind of a public figure. Alice's father, he was in the computer business apparently when everything started. But well, now, with his death, is the beginning of new things to take care of. The entire family is pretty much distant, and especially Alice does not have a good relationship with her mother. She even saved her number with her mother's name. And as she's sitting just going towards what's waiting on her, she has all of these different ideas about how things might go, and there is this person who's sitting next to her, basically having this announcement of her father's death, and that person doesn't know that she's the daughter. So I do think it is an intriguing story. But one that did not really draw me in. I do feel like Alice's character is very much distant, even though, again, I did not read through the whole thing. But her character is, well, basically what I got from her was that she had to be on her own a bit way too much. So she does not really lean on anyone else. She feels as if she has to protect herself no matter what. And by distancing herself, she gets to do that. And she is a bolter. Escaping from things is her way of dealing with things, but you know, when it comes to the man who raised her, she has still some stuff to take care of. And this could be a good read. I think this could especially be a good read with you and your friends. I do think having a little book club only between you and your friends is an interesting hobby. And this could be the sort of book, again, that's a bit more on the serious side. There is not much of laughter or humor or sparkle and romance in it. So if you do want those things, especially for the summer, you're not going to find it in this one. But especially if you are an independent woman with complicated past or with complicated family, I do think this book can actually soothe you. You would find this very soothing, but only if you are ready to deal with that sort of energy and you're open to entertaining the thought of going through this thing with yourself. Now, I do have many hot takes, and one of them is about death. And I do not think death is a negative thing, and I do not see it as an occasion to be upset or to wear black. I think you should wear white. And the whole idea of funeral, the traditional way, does not sit right with me. But that, honestly, my take on funerals and death would have their own separate story. One, I don't think many would find beautiful, but I admire how Alice does not act like she's completely losing herself. She's just seeing that a part of her life needs to be, let's say, refurnished. Because when something is gone, it's basically making space for something new. And it can be tough to handle that, especially when something such as death happens. It's something that no one can really schedule or count on, especially when it's about the people who were once close to you. So you cannot really giggle about this book, but it makes you feel the need to think more about how maybe you would react in such situation. So if you are in that mood, this would be the book to pick up. And if not, don't worry. I'm a bookworm, and this podcast is all about that. So whatever you like, you can find it on other episodes. Podcast. Well, there are some limits. For example, you cannot find any sort of crime or horror in this channel, but other than that, I can't think of anything else that will not be here. But other than that, feel free to browse through other episodes, and if you read the book, tell me what you thought. And hope to see you around soon. Thank you for listening. Laters.